underwater?
I don't know. Gosh, we have some fruit this. Come on.
Take my advice, 'cause I'm the one who understands. If you say you leave me try to understand.
Here it is, dude. Here. Okay. Oh, God. Here it is. There it is. Little House on the Prairie. This is what our show's all about. This is why we are here today. This book. Blood, sweat, and tears went into the publishing of this book and the others like it. That's why we're here today, to show you. We've searched high and low, and now we're low. And we found it.
Welcome to Prairie Talk with Blades and Mayo. Guess who I am? That's right, I'm Craig Mayo.
And I'm Shane Blades. You know, normally I do my little Shane Blades joke and we're all laughing, having a good time, but it's kind of a disturbing day, kind of a disturbing episode. We got something hot off the computer presses, didn't we, Craig?
Yes, it's from WWYK. I don't know how good you can see that right there. Let me put it right over there. WWYK. And what does that mean? Who would you kill?
Who would you kill? I mean,
on Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie. Who would want to kill anybody? Anybody in that show? I mean, let alone, I mean, you're looking at Doc Baker, you're looking at Charles, the most wholesome people in the world, and these people are debating why they would kill him.
And it's like, I don't even want to do this show almost, just because it's publicizing the website, but I think it's an issue we need to cover. And it's something we really need to do. So before we get into it, don't forget that we have an email address, prairietalktv@aol.com.
Yeah, and why don't you email us and let us know, you know, why you wouldn't kill anybody on the show. Tell us about the good qualities these people have, why they shouldn't die, unlike these bastards that put this garbage on the computer.
That's right. So I mean, I guess the only thing we can do is work our way backwards from, like, you know, the bottom of the list to the top of the list, and just go over the characters. So thanks for watching today, and let's get into it, Shane.
Let's get into it. So, all right, yeah, let's start with who these idiots would want to kill the least.
I know.
Okay, who do we got first, Craig?
Adam with 59 votes.
59 votes? Are you believing that? 59 people out in this world want to kill Adam. Why?
I don't. It's like when I watch him, it's like he was nothing but good to Mary.
Yeah.
I mean, in an episode, To See the Light, you know. Well,
Right.
actually, he disses her a little bit, which is maybe where the 59 votes come, because he kind of shuns her in that episode. But overall, he's good to her.
It could have been, for those of you guys that don't remember, Adam was blind as bad as well as Mary. And one day while they were on the wagon, it tipped. They fell over. Adam busted his head, and voila, he could see again.
Yeah.
And he rose running off through the hills, and Mary's standing there like, you know, where the hell am I, right? And he's sitting there jotting off, you know.
And Adam's like, I'm free! I'm going to go see the world. I'm going to study law again, you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And Mary's sitting there, didn't know what the hell to do, man. I mean, she was kicking in the trees. She don't know what the hell's going on.
She's crying, and, you know, she does, you know, she's like out in the town probably. Adam! And, you know, he's like over here.
Yeah,
you know?
and he's riding a horse somewhere, the crazy sumbitch. But so 59 votes, that's probably where that came from.
That's the only episode I could think. Other than that, you know, it's just like,
the guy was blind. I mean, why would you want to kill him? The guy's had a hard enough life as it is.
I know.
Why would you want to, you know, unless you just want to get rid of a blind person.
Helping the kids and everything.
Yeah, he's a good kid helper.
But he was just in last. You know who came in next? Willie.
Well, I can kind of understand. Okay, Willie got 60 votes. thing, folks. We all know Willie. I mean, come on.
I mean, stand in the corner, Willie.
I tell you what, man. Did you ever see an episode where he wasn't in the corner of the school with a dunce cap on?
Yeah, I did see an episode, but it was because he wasn't in it.
That's a good one.
Right.
You're right. You're right.
Every episode, Willie's in the corner.
Oh, he's getting his butt chewed by the teacher.
Yeah.
You know, but you're right. You're right. That's a good analogy, right?
So that's probably why he just beat out Adam.
And again, the weird thing about it is he only got one more vote than Adam.
I know, and they are so different. You would think that Willie would be up higher on the list.
That is amazing. That's there's some sick people out in this world, my friend.
I know. Well, let's get going on because
Sure.
that's just 2, and we have at least 15 more. So to go.
Oh boy, the list gets better. Tied with Willie is
Grace.
Grace.
And I think people probably voted for her because they just didn't know who she was.
Yeah, don't know who she is. Why not kill the bitch? Just get rid of her.
Yeah.
We didn't know her anyway, right?
Yeah, you don't need her on the show, just kill her.
Yeah, Grace wasn't on the show that much. But she was just a little girl.
Yeah, it was a good. Well, you got a picture there?
There's a picture. I don't know if you guys can see it, but she was extremely small. I mean, I don't know what the reason we killing her for. I mean, can you think of anything?
I don't know. She's a cute little girl, and that's pretty brutal to kill a young child.
Maybe there's some little kids out there who are not getting as much attention or don't think they're as cute as Grace is, and they just want to do away with her.
Or some jokesters.
Damn jokesters, yeah.
I think a lot of those votes are like joke votes.
You think so?
Probably.
I take this seriously.
I know.
When it comes to Little House on the Prairie, I'm not joking around,
But
Craigie.
maybe sometimes some of these people go to the site and they're like joking around. They're not really like, who would I really kill?
Well, you never know. That's the thing about this. We got to take everything seriously, in my opinion, when it comes to the show. And you could be right.
Especially a website like this where it's just like death.
All right, who's next?
Wow, if this next one, you got to be a real fan of the show because
right.
if you say Manly was 73, you go who?
Yeah, Manly.
Who's that?
There's lots of manly guys on the show, but
only that's Pa Manly.
Yeah,
Pa's a man.
Yeah, or Doc Baker was a man. He took care of the whole town.
Even the Reverend was a little bit of a man.
He was when he had to get tough. He did it. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
But you know who Manly is. Though.
No, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I'm the co-host, and I'm supposed to know everything about the show, but I don't recall who Manly is. Wait a minute. Was he Charles's dad?
No, I think you're just playing dumb so that I could give the answer, and you could go, "Oh, I knew that all along."
I never lie about Little House, Craig.
Almanzo is Manly.
What?
Almanzo.
How come he just didn't call him Almanzo then?
I don't know. See, that's why you got to be truly a true fan. I don't know why they would call him a Almanzo.
Oh, this is BS. What, do you think you know more than me now just because you knew that? I mean, how did you know that, to be honest with you? What episode was that on?
No, he's in lots of episodes.
Well, he's in lots of episodes. But
you're just doing this to pull information out of me.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
come on. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I just can't figure out when. Nobody ever called him Manly.
Laura did.
No.
Before they were married?
Are you serious?
Yes, he would go, "Oh, man, can I call you Manly?" And she was the only girl in town who called him Manly.
Really?
Yes.
Well, he was kind of manly, let's face it.
Yeah, he was a true man.
Right. And he got 73 votes.
I know. You would think he was a little bit of annoying, in those first few episodes. I would think he would get higher, but
and Manly got 13 more votes than Willie did. Willie was an ass.
I know.
What's up with that? I don't get it.
Yeah, Willie was a weird one in this list. You know?
Maybe enough people didn't know about him because he wasn't in that many episodes.
Yeah,
could have been but Manly. Who the hell knew who Manly was unless he was Almanzo? I wouldn't have recognized him as Manly.
Well, Manly was in years of episodes, so
Right. All right.
But wow. We move on up to good old Nels.
Nels. Come on. How can you not like Nels?
Who would want to kill Nels?
No, Nels was a nice guy.
I know who they'd want. All those people, they all wanted, when he played Black Bart in that one episode, the whole town wanted to kill Nels then, but they didn't know it was Nels.
They didn't know it was Nels. That's the whole thing. So do you think the voter response was against Nels because of that episode?
I wonder if it was the townspeople going into this website and voting for Nels thinking it was Black Bart.
Could have been.
I don't know.
Because otherwise...
Who would vote for Nels? It's just very, very strange.
Nels was a hell of a man.
I know.
A hell of a person.
Yeah, I would give him one vote total. He should be the last one on this list.
Yeah. Let's make a note of that. Nels last.
Last Nels.
Nels.
we should go in and vote for everybody else on this list just to put him last.
Exactly. And remember, we're not alone here, people. It's prairietalktv@aol.com. Let us know what you think. Again, let us know who you wouldn't kill and why you wouldn't kill. We want to hear some good things about these people.
Yeah. Exactly. Do it.
By golly. All right, let's go on to the list here.
Oh, wow.
Who's next, Craig?
The old Doc Baker. And you know what? Albert. Look at that. They're just close right there with 79 and 80.
I'll tell you, man, they're going through their neck and neck. It's a tight race. But
you know what? Obviously, anybody who voted for Doc never got treated by Doc.
That's right. And I'll tell you what, like I said in a previous episode, a couple kind words went a lot farther than some of his medicines. That's the truth. It really
That's a great thing to say.
It really does. He was a kind man. He was a kind human being.
And he always just showed up. And then they cut to the next scene, and the person was better. He worked his magic like that.
Except when Albert's little girlfriend was getting ready to kick the bucket.
Yeah, he never came in. It was just a very strange thing.
He just kind of let her drift off, and that was a little bit crazy for Doc at the time, if you know what I'm saying.
Hence, maybe a few votes on this. I'm just trying to guess where these votes are coming from, and maybe
wasn't that episode on like 2 days ago?
It was.
In fact, you called me on my cell phone and actually started playing it through my cell phone. I could hear it. That was dramatic. I was crying on the 101. I couldn't take it. that was to tear.
I know. I just wanted to brighten your day that day.
Ooh, I'll tell you what. So that may be why Doc got 79 votes. But going on next up on the list, we got Albert at 80 votes. What do you think, Craig?
Albert, 80 votes. I'm just thinking people saw the morphine episode and they're like, he's a drug addict, he's got to die, he's a bad influence.
Yeah, it's probably like, he's addicted to drugs, he might start dealing them around Walnut Grove.
Or he was in love with so many girls, I could see girls out there getting kind of jealous, like, love me!
Love me, right. I mean, he could have been spreading a lot of VDs around there, and back then they didn't have any, cure for the love blisters, if you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So that could have been a reason why the 80 votes came into effect there.
Exactly. Well, hey, you know what? We've done a few characters. You want to do that thing? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
And you regular viewers out there, and even new viewers out there, know what we're talking about. It's time for Welcome Melissa Gilbert. That's right. It's that big time in this show when we give Melissa a chance to come be with us, talk with us, and just
interact with us. I mean, these are the people that's basically keeping this show alive. And other than like the regular Little House on the Prairie show, we're like the generic show, if you will, but it's keeping the fire burning.
I know, and we are going to help her career because she's going to get so much visibility. So please help us welcome Melissa Gilbert. You know what?
This is asinine. This is asinine. How many times does this happen?
I call her every single day. I email her at askmelissa.net. Mm-hmm. It's melissagilbert.net.
Right.
And then in that, there's Ask Melissa. Hey, can you come on our show? Can you please come?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And let me tell you something, Melissa Gilbert. If you want to keep doing movies of the week, that's fine. If you want to be one of these generic actresses and never make it up back to the peak you hit when you were Laura Ingalls, that's great. But don't keep swinging us around like you're some sort of prima donna. You got it? Capiche?
Yeah. Every week we're like giving you our address, where we are. We'll even come to your house. So please, we gotta be. Please come and be on our show.
Well, I don't mean to get angry.
I know.
I'm just trying to sound upset, but come on, man. We're keeping Little House on the Prairie alive. Pretty soon it's going to run out of syndication, and we're going to be the only thing left of Little House on TV. I think she might owe it to us to maybe come on the show and talk to us. That's all we're asking for. Am I not right?
I know. It's like we start the taping, we're like, okay, maybe she's a little late, but...
Right. Okay, I apologize, Melissa, for going on that rant, but just please notify us and come back and see us. Just talk to us. That's all we ask from you, okay? You never know. It might help your career out.
Someday.
Someday she'll be here.
We hope, we dream that someday Melissa will be on our show.
Like little boys dream about being professional baseball players, like little girls dream about being ballerinas. We dream about
like
having
dogs,
Melissa Gilbert.
Getting that bone,
Or, yeah.
Well, Let's continue.
Oh boy!
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was deep, Craig.
I always love that. I just get so excited. Like, she's coming today, and but you know,
I know.
it's okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Brain fart here. Where were we?
We were up to. Oh, look at this. 126. Ma. Caroline? It must be the only Ma.
Has to be Caroline.
It's got to be Caroline.
She's all of our Ma's in a way, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And why on God's name did she get 126 votes? I have not a clue.
I have no idea. I could only say there's 126 people in America that had a better family than the Ingalls. And they probably looked down on us Ma as a bad.
Or they had a really crappy life and they looked to Ma and they were jealous. They never had that kind of... They were jealous because she wasn't their mother.
Yeah.
And she wasn't there for them, and she wasn't making them little snacks.
And if she's not there for them, she's not there for anybody.
Exactly. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit mad myself, but I'm over it now because Ma was a great girl. Carolyn was a sweetheart, and you know, we'd like to have her on the show too.
And she was a looker too.
Craig, don't talk about Ma like that.
That's another episode.
It is. That's incest.
Yeah. Oh wow. Whew.
For Arkansas.
Okay, who do you guess is next?
Okay, we got the Reverend.
That's right. That was a good guess.
Yeah, I know. I guessed it because it was right there in front of me. It's 127 votes. The Reverend.
Yeah.
Could there be some possible satanic worshipers out there?
I think also a little animosity. Maybe Maybe who could be against the Reverend?
I don't know, man. The Reverend stands for basically our Lord JC.
That's right.
You know, if you put 127 death votes against the Reverend, then that's pretty bad.
That's like a death wish to yourself.
Yeah.
Whoever cast those votes, that's the end of them.
Yeah, stay away from me, people.
I'm glad I did not vote for the Reverend.
I
you know what I'm saying.
love the Reverend. Did you?
Yeah, I love the Reverend too. He always had a good word, kind speech. And he always opened his church for every kind of plague that was coming to town. Everybody came to the church and got better there, you know?
Exactly, because a church is a place where you do get better.
With the few kind words of Doc Baker and the Reverend standing watching everybody.
And everything's all right.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about Little House. Just good times and good friends, you know?
Oh, yes.
All right. What's next, Craig?
Oh, we're getting so close to the top.
I know.
Carrie?
What?
Who would want to kill Carrie?
With 130 votes?
I think that's almost a typo. Like, Carrie, I know. I think they saw, "My God, be and they go, what? She's
probably
dead.
Yeah, that's what it was. You think that's what it was?
Yeah, it's got to be, because you can never understand her, and it's like...
Never could understand a word she said. They might have felt sorry for her because she did sound so much like an idiot. Well, she was young, though, Craig.
Yeah.
I mean, how old was she in these episodes?
And she didn't do much, so it's kind of like, okay, if you got to cast it for somebody, maybe Carrie's got to go because all the other characters mean something, and she didn't.
And she was just kind of there. That was kind of a bad, I don't really know why they entered her into the episodes, or why they even put her in the show, to be honest with you. She didn't really bring much to it except a whiny voice.
You know, the next person is somebody I think should be at the top of the list. Good old Nancy. 439 votes. It just jumps up.
I'm telling you, man, 439. That's pretty. It's getting up there.
You would think she would be number one. I wonder who's above her to be so high on the list.
All right, really quick. PrairieTalkTV@AOL.com. Who do you think is number one? Huh? Ooh.
Email us quick before we get to the end of the show, because you know. The quiz isn't good anymore if you get to the end of the show and there's no prize for that.
Yeah, don't be cheating, man, because cheaters are losers, and losers are cheaters.
You got about 7 minutes, so you hurry up and fire that computer on up.
I can hear those emails coming in right now, huh?
I almost want to leave right now and go check.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
You've got. There's probably like you got mail guy, because there's so much mail.
Yeah, he's like, you got freaking mail. Now knock it off, asses.
Okay, Nancy. Yeah, annoying. I don't even know why she was on.
I don't either. Yeah, just a...
Yeah, nagging.
Just... This is kind of a hurtful one. Let him in on it.
Paw.
Do we need to say anything more? 523 votes.
I don't even want... Let's just move on, because that...
Charles Ingalls. What the
Paw.
all about? Paw. My paw, your paw, everybody's paw.
The master of the prairie.
The master of disaster, the king
his house.
I couldn't think of anything good that rhymed. Of Kingdom's House. That's good. Didn't rhyme, but it was good.
Yeah.
Because it was the truth.
Master of his destiny.
That's true. And the guy could cry on cue. On to the next one.
Nellie.
All right, Nellie. 718 votes. Now, we all know why Nellie.
This is kind of justified.
Yeah.
But I understand why she was voted on this one. You know, it was no surprise, even though I would not kill her because she helped bring Little House. She helped bring it alive. And what's a show without controversy?
Yeah. I mean, who would have James Bond been without his Goldfinger? Or who would, you know, think of something?
Yogi Bear be without, you know, the picnic baskets.
The picnic. I mean, where would these people be? So you need to have somebody in there to stir up some controversy.
I know. Laura would have been wrestling in the mud by herself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
who would she have stolen the music box from if Nellie didn't exist?
If Nellie didn't come around. Right, exactly. You need to have them rich, stuck-up people on there to kind of shake things up a little bit. That's exactly what she did. But I can understand why people want to kill her because she was a bitch.
Yeah. Here's another troubling one. I don't understand it. Maybe these people only saw the first season, but Laura. 758 votes.
You know what? I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of speechless on that. Laura was the center of the show. Without Laura,
we would just have a mess. We'd have like the XFL or something. You know, it would just be. It would just be like
all scattered, like Paul going this way, this, but there's no glue to keep it all together. There would have been no Walnut Grove. There would have been no running to the schoolhouse with little, you know, braids in her hair.
And her blue dress, you know, to Johnny Johnston, you know.
Yeah, I remember that. That was, oh man.
Johnny would have been lost in that episode.
He would have. He would have. And Laura she was a queen of sweetness.
You know, there would have been no conversation. Who would have run around town? You know, nobody. Everybody would. What's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, Charles, 10 miles down the road, can you hear me? Right, there would have been able to do that as opposed to Laura running back and forth.
The only episode where there would have been conversation was when they would have gotten the telephones. Other than that, everybody would have been like, huh?
Huh?
What's going on?
What, there's people living in Walnut Grove? I didn't know that. I thought I was all by myself.
They're up on like the crest of the hill. What's down there?
Yeah.
It looks like my house, but it's not mine.
Yeah. Yeah, what? Just ridiculous.
I know, so thank God, Laura.
And these idiots want to get rid of her? They want to kill her off? Fine then. Kill Laura off and ruin the best show that ever graced our television sets, for crying out loud. That's all I got to say about it, you idiots.
Well, we finally made it to the top. We made it to the top. Who's the #1 person to be killed?
A little drum roll action, I think, is
We finally made it, and this is what people stay tuned for, to see who the top person was to be killed on Little House.
And hopefully you guys have emailed us, because in about, you know, a minute it's going to be way too late.
And your email will be void, so please do it right now, because you got about 15 seconds.
PrairieTalkTV@AOL.com. Remember, if you get it right, it could be on the show.
Yeah.
Huh? Think about it. Okay.
That was good, man. That was really good.
I appreciate that.
Well, I'm just putting off who the #1 is. So
I know.
Give the viewers a few little chance to get to
how was
the
your day
computers.
today?
Okay,
You had an audition.
Yeah, it was good. I, drove across town,
Good.
did it, and it was a really good experience. It was a lot of fun.
All right, I think we're about done.
I think so. I think everybody's emailed us now, so let's get on with it.
The #1 person that would have to be killed, according to these viewers, is
Harriet.
Harriet Olsen.
She annoyed the crap out of me.
Yeah. Literally, I can understand controversy, I can understand Nellie being on the show, I can understand mixing things up, but that one was just a pain in the ass every episode, time after time, just bitching and moaning.
And it's like, why do you put up with her? Everybody in town kept putting up with her. Oh, when they were away from Harriet, Harriet, but when...
Yeah, I know. Look at Nels, for Christ's sake.
I know, the poor guy. I just wanted her to get away. I just wanted her to leave. She was just so annoying,
There wasn't one good quality about her, even when she tried to be a little bit sentimental. Like when Nels got really sick, and she's by his bedside and everything, you could still sense the bitch in her. Like, almost like she was saying, oh, I'm sweet to you because you're dying, but die.
Yes.
Die, Nels. Die so I can get your life insurance policy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they had life insurance policies back then, which I'm sure they did. But it was just an evil woman,
So I guess I kind of understand why she won this.
Yeah, that's completely justified at 1,107 votes.
I think she's the only person on this list who should be killed.
Let me
Even
run it
though-
through real quick. I can't make that judgment until I look everything over. Well, Willie, let's face it, Willie would have grew up to be a complete
Yeah.
reject. So maybe kill Willie off too.
And when I say kill, I mean figuratively, because you know what? I love Little House.
Oh, I do too. It just wouldn't be the same without any of the characters, even Harriet. You know, but I love the show, and
That was a tough one to say. Harriet.
it was for me too. I had to drag that out. But you're right. We love the show because it is the show.
Wow. Wow. Well, this was kind of an interesting little discussion we had about everything.
It would. I hate promoting this guy's website, but
I don't even want to WWYK.
yeah, YK.
Whowouldyoukkill.com, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even want to let people know what it is.
Whatever. Why would you want to kill anybody
Yeah.
except maybe the Waltons? You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Waltons, Little House on the Prairie wannabes.
What is that?
I don't even want to hear it. If you're gonna start talking about the Waltons, I'm gonna get a little bit agitated.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Can't.
That just is like, you know what? I don't know anything about that show. I don't even want to.
I don't either.
Little House on the Prairie. LHP.
That's right. 12 o'clock Monday through Friday.
That's right.
Channel 5.
Yeah. TBS in the morning.
TBS 7 o'clock in the morning. Actually, is it 6? 6 or 7?
It's 7, I think.
Yeah, 7.
Depending on where you live.
7 o'clock. Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And, it's been a great time. I hope you had a good time. And don't forget to email us at prairietalktv@aol.com.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a hell of a day. It's been a little bit, controversial, if you ask me, because, we had to deal with a tough subject. But we got through it. You got through it. We're all doing good. And thanks for joining us.
Thanks again. And remember, good times
and good friends.